welcome back to another episode of the Final Act. Sorry we haven't been with you guys for a while, but we haven't really had any movie that we wanted to discuss.
We
didn't have any movies you wanted to discuss.
Well, we wanted to discuss Warcraft, but I was unable to watch it.
Didn't you go see it premiere day?
I haven't had a chance.
No, you were supposed to go watch it, then he did it. Then we watched it
we watched
it that day. That
I got sick, and then I wanted to watch it again, and he said he'd already seen it. So.
Yeah.
Drop in the ball, guy. This is your show.
Sorry,
I
apologize. I'll watch it and we'll discuss it next time.
I still haven't seen it. Oh shit.
It's going to come out on Blu-ray by the time you watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be on VHS.
Okay, today we have to discuss Independence Day, Resurgence, 20 years later after the original film. Let's jump straight into it. Your feeling on the film?
I liked it.
He actually said that when the movie ended, he's like, I quite enjoyed it.
And everyone looked at me and spat at me.
No, he was more excited the fact that he got little trinkets with it, but which I left in the
we got a really cool little, what's it, the moon
tug, aka the moon job.
Yeah, it sounds like a dirty sex position.
Like a little thing, but no, we kind of spoke about it, and look, as a
those new shoes.
Technically, but I've had them for a few weeks.
Oh, he washed them.
Actually, they're dirty. To be fair, they're actually dirty.
Yours used to be white, at least.
Yeah, no, they're like dirty
yeah,
brown.
You swapped them around. What was there? So yeah, no, we spoke about it. Look, as a movie, as a script, and as all that stuff.
We all know.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying as a movie, as not a good movie, like Finding Dory, which we saw, is
pretty
script
good.
to CG to camera choices to, even if you want to say the acting.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
all
intense.
The voices.
Yeah, well, they still got to animate the faces,
like the actual
the
animation.
way they do it's all.
I mean, especially Hank the Octopus, which was
Septopus.
Fuck off.
Yeah, the Septopus is awesome. I mean, it's top class. Independence Day, you're not going there for.
You're not going there for a script.
You're not going there for an acting.
You're not going there for an Oscar.
Yeah, you're not going for the acting or for the script or whatever. But it was enjoyable. It's like
it's just a big.
It's a big action movie.
That's what it was.
You don't have to think too hard to understand it. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. And it's just explosions and
on
shit.
their figure, you're pretty stupid. So they literally explain thing you don't need to explain.
Let's take it, for example, to movies like the Marvel films and the DC films. They tend to leave little Easter eggs behind for you to try and pick up and see what links to the next film. In here, it was just like, let's just blow shit up.
Let's just blow stuff up.
Let's kill off the previous characters as quickly as possible.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
the race to kill off characters.
Let's move on. Yes, script-wise, I think we all know that Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich aren't the best-known people for scripts. Visually, yes, they've come up with...
On a visual basis, that movie was amazing. There were so many good visual effects. Me and Warren did find one shot that was totally incomplete though.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Which scene was that?
You know when they're in the shield bubble thing and the president, spoiler alert, goes into the...
if you don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, goes into the, the Queen's little ship thing and says, I'm back, go fuck yourself, blows up sort of thing.
Pretty much like the end of the first one where he's like, in the words of my generation, up yours.
He did the same thing. And when it went like all nuclear, you can see they just did those shots was totally incomplete because they just did a whiteout on the screen, remember? And then the ship was destroyed.
No, you just saw the speckle hit the shield.
Yeah, the speckle hit the shield, but they whited out the screen because clearly maybe the flames didn't finish simulating, or the render times was just ridiculous. But the actual destruction of the ship, they were just like, we ran out of time, ran out of money. It's just they literally just stuck a lens flare on it. White flash, and then destroyed.
Because if you think about it, if you think of the rest of the movie, they showed everything, every building cracking, collapsing, the gravity stuff. Everything was like shown. That one seemed cut short.
Yeah.
If it was planned, it was stupid.
Yeah.
But that was the only.
But it didn't feel planned. It felt like you could.
Rushed.
I mean, they did everything else. I mean, even with the Queen sequence, that was also just. Those were also all just crazy. But that single shot, I think, didn't bring out.
Maybe they thought kind of like a Batman vs Superman film was too long. So they cut what we don't need.
So they cut out a 20-second explosion.
Yeah, kind of thing, just cut out.
Well, as you said, maybe the rendering was taking too long.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, stuff like in my head,
they had a date. They had to release the film.
Yeah.
For it to be exactly the same as
the last
previous film.
Well, I think how it was, like how it works is that was supposed to be like a super explosion because of the fusion bombs, and I think it was supposed to fill up the entire dome, sort of thing.
Maybe it didn't.
And I think considering, you know, I do a lot of fire and stuff simulations nowadays, I think those fire simulations didn't finish.
Maybe it had to do with the fact they had that X-ray shield vibe, and it had to go through the rays and just took to with the smoke.
With the smoke and fire and photorealistic lighting.
Just maybe it wasn't going to finish. Maybe it didn't come out right.
It might have come out like dick.
Let's just try and compare Independence Day, not to the first movie, because as you said, if you actually look at it script for script, it was pretty much the exact
pretty much
same
identical.
script.
Well, what I was saying to you just now before we went to turn this on was, with the original, as much as the script's like the same, they paced it differently. It was everyone's happy.
Well, they were introducing the characters.
Yeah, then like the alien arrived. What is this? Oh my gosh, they blew up the building. What's next? With this one, it started, and after about 10 minutes, it just took off. It was just action from then on.
But I mean, like, you know, it was pretty much just action. I mean, they pretty much found the drill, and they like asked how they turn on the lights, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And then pretty much from that point onwards, it's just like non-stop explosions, high pace.
Also, if you look at it, the previous ship took a while for the
that one took
the
like
fire
took
to come down.
It took
This one was just like, and it was like several laser beams at a time. It wasn't just one.
But I was actually a little bit bummed about that because first of all, the ship was like 300 times bigger than the last one.
Yeah.
And it took like a week for that ship to enter our atmosphere, the small one and the first one.
Yeah.
Because they like saw it for a week. They're like, oh, what is this? We don't know what it is.
Well, the previous one was like 15 miles in diameter.
This one's 300.
It was
3,000.
miles.
3,000.
It just really covered the whole of the Atlantic.
But like, just by the way, like they covered the whole of the Atlantic, but yet, you know, they never showed any like dark spots. Like they were under the ship, but it was so nicely lit in those parts. And like we're under the ship, and it's just like, yeah, but
look,
there's still sunlight.
surely the Earth, because it had its own gravitation.
Can reflect the light from the sun.
No, but surely
they were considerate. You know, they project the light that's in the front of the ship under the ship.
Because they could do the invisibility, they did some reflections on the sun.
Yeah, so the people under it wouldn't die.
But if you think about it, like, okay, if you go very scientific and stuff, the Earth should have, weather-wise, should have freaked out because they had its own gravitational pull.
No, first of all, it should have freaked out because they fucking ran into the moon and they
That
blew up half the room.
They
scraped half the moon.
So we should have had waves.
Like, the actual thing is they would have landed and they would have been like, well, your work's been done for you. We've had tsunamis, tornadoes and hurricanes.
We had the waxing and waning went ballistic.
Yeah, the minute you hit the moon, we all died.
But, yeah.
Let's have a look at the fact that Will Smith was not in the film.
Yeah.
Do you think that affected? Because if you actually look at it, that kid who, what was his name in the film?
He was a bit of a punk.
Captain Hiller, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the character name? Yes.
Yeah, Dylan Hiller. For me, he was.
that was the name.
He was extremely second-rate.
I really didn't
like. How do you put him in the place of someone like Will Smith and he's just not?
You know what it is? I think I have a feeling because they said there were two scripts, one with Will Smith, one without him.
Could Will Smith not do this movie, or did he?
No, he just didn't do it. So I think the scripts went up to what he wanted. Two, I think also he doesn't want to repeat movies. The only one I think he's repeating besides Bad Boys is maybe Hancock. I think it's the only one he's contemplating doing a sequel for.
But that's also such a big gap between.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big gap between this movie, but you know, like we said, script-wise,
it probably fell short.
You know, the thing is, the problem is with Independence Day is that making a sequel, it really is something we've all seen before.
Yeah. Okay, but the Independence Day script originally was very cheesy.
But it worked. It worked very well.
It worked for that time.
Yeah.
We now 2016, and they were still using the same jokes. So we look at it going.
We have progressed from that.
We've changed. I mean, if you look at how the comic book films are coming out, there's a little bit more aggression to it. There's the use of
I felt
vulgar language is being.
Yeah, I even said to Warren in the movie, didn't you feel the spaceships, these hypersonic, super fast fighter jets, seemed so slow? They were like
gliding along.
Yeah, they were like gliders. I'm like, I wanted to see like shots where they're just like they're here and they're gone.